Going on, world? DS1 Ross, and I'm back. Welcome back to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. I appreciate it. Appreciate all the love and the support. Um, I won't be here too long. I just came to leave a message and just to keep people aware because a lot of us, we throw out that word conscious. That conscious word done became watered down. Everybody's conscious. Everybody's woke and all of that, but we're still falling victim to things that we're supposed to already see and already understand. So as y'all can see the title, the 12 characteristics of a cult leader. And I'm doing this because, and y'all could check the article out down in the description box. A few days ago was the 40th anniversary of the Jim Jones massacre, the cult leader Jim Jones. Y'all can look him up, and y'all can see the mayhem that he created. Jim Jones was a cult leader, and he used religion to push his ideals. And this is what we have to understand about cult leadership. We need to understand the characteristics of them. What do they do? What do they say? How do they say it? Just to keep the people aware on who they're following. Because a lot of people say that they're awake and they're conscious, but they're just following people who they think are awake. And it's because they're looking for a crutch. They're looking for someone to lead them. You understand? So I just came real quick to let people know the characteristics of a cult leader. And always look for these things in people who you look to follow. If you're looking to follow someone, pay attention to these characteristics before you decide to join their religion, before you decide to join their movement. Look at these 12 characteristics, because you may not be following a religion. You may just be following a cult. So like I said, check out the link down in the description. Also, if you want to show some support, the support link is down in the description also. But in particular, check out that article that I posted down in the description box, because they're telling you about Jim Jones and how he basically slaughtered hundreds of people with his dangerous ideology that he made people believe and succumb to, which led to their demise. So let's get into the characteristics of a cult leader. The first characteristic is a spiritual abuser. A spiritual abuser. The cult leader is a false teacher who not only teaches false doctrines, but he also seeks to intimately control and abuse the lives of his followers. So if you actually been paying attention on what's been going on, from my last live and, things that have been transpiring, and also what's been going on after that, you know, um, people have been getting abused. People are getting attacked by this cult leader. You see, like right now, shout out to my man Loso. He's live right now, and he's saying that people are putting out false claims about him. These are all tactics that are created by the cult leader, and his minions go out and do his dirty work, like I said in my last live stream. So a spiritual abuser, for example, he can control who you should and should not marry. He separates members from their families. He destroys marriages. No major personal decisions are made by various cult members without consulting the cult leader or without his knowledge. So everybody who's being attacked right now by this cult leader's members, the cult leader knows. This is why he's just sitting back and watching. Because now he's going to let his minions carry out the mission. You see, this is a spiritual abuser. He brainwashes his members to perform unethical activities. Isn't that what I'm talking about? Somebody's lying saying that this dude Loso got locked up last night for harassing somebody, for harassing a woman. This man was in his house the whole goddamn night. But according to the cult members, he was out getting arrested for harassment. Unethical activities. He brainwashes his members to perform unethical activities. Isn't that what's going on? To be lied on is what? Unethical. When someone lies on you, that's an unethical activity on his behalf or on the behalf of the cult. You see? See, right now, the cult is not doing too good. They're damaged. So now it's time to respond. And they're going to respond in a certain manner. And the way they respond is by doing what? Performing unethical activities on the behalf of the cult leader and the cult. The cult leader is obsessed with manipulating and controlling his followers through authoritative leadership style and coercive techniques. So what that means is he'll pull rank on you by taking your wrench, taking your power away that he granted you, or he'll get another cult member to attack you. This is how cult leaders keep their members in line. This is why only certain members in the cult are the closest to the cult leader. And he appoints those people. Everyone has an assignment. But the people who are closest to him are assigned to attack the other members when they get out of line. And then when he feel like the people who's basically controlling the rest of the flock, when he feel like they're out of line, he pulls rank on them. This is the authoritative leadership style and coercive techniques. This ultimately leads many members of the group into a state of spiritual bondage. These people don't know what to do. These people don't know where to go outside of this cult leader because they're being spiritually abused. Because on one hand, they're being controlled and manipulated, and then on the other hand, they're being uplifted by the word of God to make them feel better about the wickedness that they're doing. So the first characteristic or trait of a cult leader, he or she is spiritually abusive. So you don't know if you're doing something right or wrong. You're always in a state of confusion. You're always in a state of bewilderment. You're always bewildered. I don't know. I don't know if I'm doing some. What am I doing? Am I doing it right? Am I doing it wrong? Second trait, they twist the scriptures for personal gain. This is why I said they manipulate and use the Bible as a weapon. They weaponize the word. They weaponize the word to keep people in line. They twist the scriptures for personal gain. Cult leaders will constantly twist and misinterpret the Bible or any, we can't just say the Bible, any religious text or spiritual text, whatever, however you want to name it, in order to justify their scandals or justify their sinful lifestyle. For example, many cult leaders are known to twist the scriptures to their followers in order to justify their sexual immorality or polygamous relationships. So, what a lot of these pastors do, and a lot of these religious leaders, what they like to do is, instead of them saying that they're cheaters and admitting that they need to do better, they'll say, well, the word says I can have such and such amount of wives, knowing that he or she is sleeping with that many amount of people, but not married to none of them, or only married to one. Oh, well, the Bible say I can have 3 wives. Oh, well, the Quran says I can have 5 wives, but you only married to one. You only take care of one, but the other ones you just having sex with. But they use scripture to justify their sexual immoralities. Some will also twist the scriptures for monetary gain. See? You got to pay your tithes. You got to pay your tithes. You got to pay your tithes. If you don't pay your tithes, how do you expect God to bless you? This is what you hear being said. Or for demonic mind control purposes. I'm being attacked. We need to stand up against this because I'm being attacked. We're under attack. Notice it goes from I to we. I'm being attacked. We're being attacked. We must stand up against this. Pay attention, people. Number 3, narcissistic sense of self. Cult leaders basically believe they were born to be better than others. This is how you have self-proclaimed kings telling people that, oh, I'm chosen. Says who? Says who? Hmm? Who told you that? This is a narcissistic sense of self. In fact, they are tempted to believe that nobody can be better than them. They are basically arrogant and are driven and motivated by a spirit of pride. See that? A spirit of pride, meaning you can't tell them shit, meaning they're never wrong. They're never at fault because they'll never admit it to you. That's narcissism. There's always an excuse why you're never wrong, why nobody can critique you. And when you receive critique, you call it hate. See, whenever you hear that type of shit, oh, they hating. No, hating someone is when you're mad at them because you feel like they have something you don't, that you want. That's hating. That's jealousy. Constructive critique is when you give your facts and opinions and your views on what's being presented in front of you. That's called critique. But y'all call critique hate because you're narcissistic and you think nobody's supposed to critique what you say. Eventually, cult leaders tend to claim or insinuate to have power, position, and authority that is exclusively godlike. Let me read that again. Eventually, cult leaders tend to claim or insinuate to have power, position, and authority that is exclusively godlike. Let me read that again. Cult leaders tend to claim or insinuate to have power, position, and authority that is exclusively godlike. They not only claim to speak for God, but they believe and teach their followers that disobeying the leader is equivalent to disobeying God. Mm, 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 mm. Are y'all aware of this? See? Are y'all really aware of this? Next one. Superficial charm and charisma. Superficial charm and charisma. Cult leaders are actors and pretenders. You know the Kanika Jenkins psyop. You know the Antonia Levette Evans psyop. All of these psyops. You know these crisis actors. These people are actors. They are pretenders. They're characters. They understand that discovering your weaknesses, see, weaknesses, they prey on the weak. They prey on the sheep. They prey on blind followers. They prey on your weaknesses, needs, and desires. And let me read that again. They understand that discovering your weaknesses, needs, and desires are a gateway to putting you in bondage. So they use the fact that you lonely. They use the fact that you have to find someone to follow to feel accepted as a way of keeping you trapped in the cult. You know, it's a documentary out now called "Trapped in the Culture." How do people get caught up in cults? Hmm? Like the Zulu Nation. It's a cult. Getting caught up with Jim Jones. It's a cult. Getting caught up with Yahweh Ben Yahweh. It's a cult. How do these people get caught up in this? Through superficial charm and charisma. They present themselves to be these heirs, the Nuwapians. How do people get caught up in that cult? Because Malachi Z. York said he was a goddamn alien. Malachi Z. York said he was the heir of God. Africa Bambaataa is what? The forerunner of hip hop. Y'all better pay attention. Projecting superficial charm and charisma to members or potential followers is a method, of disarming people from seeing the true deceptive and controlling nature of the leader. So he preys on your weaknesses. He preys on the things you like. He preys on that. She preys on that. So if you want to be around some people that you feel like got your back, they're going to superficially create that energy around you. And they're going to get the other cult members to play the role. Oh, we got you. You ain't got to worry about nothing. You over here with us. To keep you in bondage. And so you never see that you're even in bondage. In their mind, it's essential that they draw followers to themselves, and therefore they feel the need to stand out and be noticed, because inwardly cult leaders consistently crave attention and recognition from their followers. So you must stroke their egos. You must constantly tell them how great they are. That empowers them, because in the inside they feel like they ain't shit. That's the secret. In the inside, they're nothing but little bitty boys and girls who are cowards. This is why they need the outside praise. This is why they want to hear how great they are, how much great works they are doing. This is why they need to hear this. It's not because they're going to ever do anything great. It's because they need that. They need that energy to feed off of. They need that energy to feed off of. Therefore, the charm offensive is an important part of a cult leader. Because what it does is it attracts and gains trust and admiration from other people. So if you see a guy or girl getting praised by hundreds of people, and you hearing all these good things about this person, and you're walking around this small town and you're hearing the works that this person has done and how he's changed so many people's lives. See, this is what happened with Yahweh ben Yahweh. This is what happened with Malachi Z. York in Brooklyn, New York. This is what happened with Africa Bambaataa in the Zulu Nation in the Bronx in New York. These guys were celebrities in the streets. People were talking about them, how great they were, how many people they fed, how many people they put in households, how many lives they changed, how many people grew up around them and became great. This is how they attract unsuspected followers. This is how they get new people to join. Through what? Superficial charm and charisma. It's superficial. It's not real. It's an act. You know, crisis actors, the lack of guilt or remorse. Let me see what number I'm up to. I believe I'm up to 1, 2, 3, 5. This is the fifth characteristic, the lack of guilt or remorse. The cult leader is sociopathic. Y'all go look up what a sociopath is. The cult leader is sociopathic by nature and is therefore incapable of showing genuine, pay attention to that word, because the thing that's going on with Hassan Campbell and Bambaataa, according to Hassan, he said he was sorry. He apologized and he stepped down from the Zulu nation. But was it genuine? Hmm? Was it genuine? They're incapable of showing genuine empathy, guilt, or remorse for any sinful behavior. For example, a cult leader may feel no remorse for destroying marriages. Pay attention. For destroying marriages or for exploiting and abusing his members. Because cult leaders are generally proud and arrogant at their core. See? These are destructive people by nature, sociopathic. They are destructive in their core, in their hearts. Sociopaths are generally known to be incapable of showing genuine love or empathy. So yeah, Poppy, I'm gonna bail you out of jail. I'm gonna get you some clothes, but you know what you gotta do for that, right? You know what you gotta do for that, right? So there's no genuine love or empathy. Yeah, you can hang out. You could come see KRS-One, Scott LaRock, all the rappers. But at the end of the night, you gotta come sleep with me. Instead, they project superficial love and emotions, which always has the deceptive motive of desiring something back in return. Isn't that what I just said? So, yeah, I'll help you pay for your dog's vet bills. I'll help you. But what you gonna do for me? Hmm? So since I've done all these things for you for all these years, Hassan, I want you to kill that little boy who stabbed me when I tried to rape him. I want you to go kill him, Hassan, because you owe me. Because I took care of you. I fed you when you was hungry. I fed your mother. I paid your mama's bills. I gave you pocket money. I gave your mama pocket money. I took care of your family. So you're obligated to kill that little boy. Let's go to the next one. Pathological liars. Cult leaders are pathological liars. Like when Bam said, I'm going to open up a community center. Where's the community center? Hmm? What happened? What happened to the community center? It never opened. Because what? He's a pathological liar. He's a pathological liar. Oh, I don't attack people. I don't lie on people. But then you have multiple YouTubers out here playing streams of you lying. Mr. YouTube pastor. See, I want people to be really aware of these types of people, man. You have to be aware of these types of people in the world. This is why they say the world is wicked. Not because the world is wicked naturally, it's because of the goddamn people. Humans are wicked. The shit that humans do is wicked. And y'all need to be aware of these things and these traits in people. So you don't get caught up in the Yahweh ben Yahweh. You don't get caught in a Malachi York. You don't get caught up with an Africa Bambaataa. You don't get caught up with a chosen king. You don't get caught up with these types of people. I'm not bringing this information because I hate these people. I hate what they do. I hate what they represent. I don't have to hate you personally. But see, these people are so prideful and so narcissistic, they think when you speak on the things they do that you hate them. That's pride. See what that is? That's narcissism. Because you think nobody should speak on shit you say and do on YouTube when anybody can do that. I can make 100 videos responding to what people say and do on YouTube. That's you. That's not violating YouTube policy. If somebody do a show and I don't like what was being said, I can do a show rebutting what was being said and bringing my facts and my views and my opinions. See, it's hate when there's no facts. See, it's hate when you just bring in your opinion and your feelings. But when you're bringing evidence, when you're bringing hardcore facts to support what you're saying, that's called critique. Check out my car rant video that I did about that. It's called YouTube Talking Points. Because a lot of these people on YouTube like to say someone's hating on them. Nobody hating on you. You are nobody. I'm just critiquing what was said. I have the right to do that. And because you don't like it, you think I'm a hater. That's not the definition of a hater. See, these people misuse terms. That's not the definition of a hater. Understand what the definition of hating is and what jealousy is. That's not being a hater. because I did a video responding to some shit you said or some shit you've done. That's not hating, especially if I'm bringing facts. And I'm just not sitting up here being emotional and calling you names and all of that, but I'm bringing actual facts to support what I'm saying. That's not hating. That's not hating. See? Pathological liars. Cult leaders are very skillful speakers. They are very skillful speakers. Very skillful speakers. This is why you have some of your mega church pastors, because they are skillful speakers. And they have a what? A cult presence, a cult-like following. You could tell them nothing wrong about their pastor. You could tell them nothing wrong. Nothing. You see? Cult leaders are very skillful speakers, and they are never at a loss for words. However, they are also pathological liars. Lying and deceit is part of their inbuilt nature and culture. Hypocrisy is their second nature. These people are hypocrites. These people are hypocrites. Deception is integral to achieving their objective of power and control over others. Pay attention to that. Next one, authoritarian leadership style. Cult leaders are always authoritarian in the manner in which they lead their members. This is why people are afraid to come out on Bambaataa. This is why people are afraid to say, no, this is wrong. This is why people are afraid to listen to other people who are bringing the truth out about these cult leaders. And they want to question these people's motives. This is why. Because they lead with the iron fist. But on YouTube, they lead with the blue wrench. So if you say something they don't like, they'll take your wrench and kick you out and then talk shit about you. Because that's the authoritarian leadership style. When that boy didn't want to get raped by Bambaataa, and he stabbed Bambaataa, what did Bambaataa do? He put a hit on his life. When TC Islam came out and spoke out against certain things he was never supposed to speak on, he got murdered. This is why brothers like Khalil Amani, shout out to Khalil Amani, had to go into federal protection with his family because they would have killed him and his family. Because he wanted out. And he knew their authoritarian leadership style. You will die. You will die. See, this is how they operate. Either you'll die or you'll be ostracized or both. Why do you think Hassan always say he got to walk around with his flashlight? Because he's already been ostracized. After that may come death. This shit is real. This is not a game. This is not a joke. This happens in real time. This is why these people are afraid to separate from these people. For example, some cult leaders demand obedience from their members at the expense of obeying the scriptures. So if I'm propping myself up to be the heir of God, you have to listen to me because God is putting the word in me to speak it to you. This is what's being said by these wicked individuals. Cult leaders will also equate obeying them as being equal to obeying God. Didn't I just say that? Therefore, insinuating that God and the cult leader have equal authority. Isn't that what Malachi York did with the Nuwapians? Isn't Malachi York praised as a god? This is how you got the birth of the Zulu nation. Because the Zulu nation is what? Nuwapians. They came from that. They came from that. This is why they dressed up in all the Egyptian garb. They got it from Malachi York, who was what? A pedophile, a pederast, and a cult leader. And what is Bambaataa? A pederast and a cult leader. And what is Bambaataa? What was Bambaataa praised as back in them times on the streets in New York? A god. He was praised as a god. He was untouchable. Just like Malachi York was in Brooklyn. You got Nawapians to this day, you can't tell them nothing. Everything is a goddamn lie. Court documents, everything is a goddamn lie. Because y'all are part of a cult. And you can't convince the members that they are being misled because of the superficial charm and charisma. See? This is why you have people to this day standing with Bam, knowing he was a pederast. They know he molested young boys. But in their minds, where would they be without Bam? Would I be able to protect Jay-Z and Beyonce and get paid 6 figures a year? Without this, my family don't live the life that they were living. I wouldn't be able to protect Ice-T. It destroys my family structure. See? This is why they stay loyal. It creates fear within the cult members so that they live to please the cult leader instead of living to please God. Cult members are taught to obey the leader, even if he is wrong. Even if he's wrong, which shows you that these people are void of correction. They're void of that. The cult leader therefore creates the false perception that he is infallible and that his teachings and wisdom cannot be challenged even when he is wrong. Didn't I just say that? No void of critique. They're void of critique. They're void of correction because they're infallible. That goes back into the narcissistic sense of self. They take sexual advantage of their members. This is the next one. Pedophilia, pederasty, in the name of I'm feeding your family. So pull your drawers down, little boy, because your mama is hooked on crack or alcohol, and I make sure she get that crack, or I make sure she get that alcohol, or I make sure her bills is paid. So now you owe me. I'ma tax your ass, little boy, Hassan. I'm gonna take it out of you. Go back and look at that movie In Too Deep. LL Cool J played the role of a what? A cult leader. What did they call him in the movie? His name was God. His name was God. And he ruled with what? An authoritative leadership style. If you didn't do what he said, you starved in the hood. If you didn't do what he said, you were killed. Cult leader. Go back and look at that movie In Too Deep when he called himself God. They take sexual advantage of their members. You know, turn your camera on so I could jerk off to you. The issue of money, Power and sex are intertwined within a cult. When cult leaders have unquestioned power and authority, it is evident that a cult leader will begin to take sexual advantage of his members. Cult leaders often have a history of extramarital affairs. Don't that sound like Malachi York, who had all these goddamn quote unquote wives and all these extra quote unquote children? Don't that sound like Malachi Z. York? Therefore, adultery and many different forms of sexual immorality are very common amongst cult leaders due to their grandiose sense of self and the imbalance of power that exists within the group. With various cults, sex or sexual immorality is used as a method of control. See? See? Therefore, the cult leader will have sexual relationships with his own followers as a method of emotional and psychological control over his members. Isn't that what Malachi York was doing? Hmm? Isn't what that he was doing? Go listen to the story of the guy, damn, what's this dude name, man? Tariq Noel. Go listen to the story of Tariq Noel. He'll tell you how he was supposed to be his son. His mother was supposed to be married to Malachi York, but he was molesting him and his sister. Go listen to his story. For many cults, sexual immorality is used by cult leaders as a method of initiating new members into the cult or for purposes of supposedly bonding with cult members. So this is how you keep me happy. You have sex with me. So you want to keep getting new clothes, Hassan? Huh? You want to keep hanging out with us and going to concerts and doing all that? You know what you got to do at night. Like he said, he'll pay for you to go to college, but you got to sleep with him. Just like what happened with with the black pastor who was having sex with those two guys in his congregation, and he bought them cars and shit. And then later on, he died. Eddie Long, that's his name. But the men was saying they was having sex with the pastor since they was teenage boys. And then you had people saying, well, it was consensual. This is how he got off. You see? Because they supposedly proved that it was consensual. But these guys were victims of a cult leader, because he used his money and his influence to keep those guys trapped. And I'm gonna do a whole nother show about R. Kelly too. Because people don't talk about R. Kelly. People don't talk about R. Kelly. But he does the same thing. And a lot of our young girls who became sexually promiscuous at a young age was listening to R. Kelly because they mamas and they aunts was listening to R. Kelly. But R. Kelly was singing to little girls. R. Kelly likes little girls. R. Kelly has harbored young girls from when they were young. Now they're grown women and saying, oh, well, I'm okay. I'll live this lifestyle. I'm good. Why? Because he pays for everything. He provided them a lifestyle. They don't want to leave that because that's all they know. Even though he's been dealing with them since they were underage. So we going to get into R. Kelly too, the cult leader, the pedophile, R. Kelly. And we gonna get into some of his songs because he been singing to little girls. See? So we're gonna get into that too. Next one. They use sycophants to ensure compliance from members. Sycophants are informers. There's a lot of informers. Gonna say their names, but y'all know who y'all are. Y'all watching right now from the bushes. You goddamn sycophants. Sycophants are informers and self-seeking cult members who usually praise the cult leader in order to gain advantage. So that's why you're running around doing dirty work. The cult leader uses them to spy on other members and to ensure that members are complying with the cult's values and traditions. See, that's the person who just came out and made that lie up on Loso, a sycophant, because they're spying, they're lying. Sycophants pass information upwards to the cult leader about who is complying and who is rebelling within the group. They also update the cult leader about what individual members are saying, feeling, or behaving within the group. Hmm. Cult leaders view outsiders as enemies or inferior. That's the next one. Cults generally have an us versus them mentality. That goes back to what I said earlier. I'm being attacked. No, no, we're being attacked. They are attacking us. They don't want to see us praise God. These people are wicked. These some wicked people, man. I swear to God. These people are wicked. Cults generally have an us versus them mentality where anybody who is outside of the cult is seen as inferior to the cult. This mentality also forms the basis of why cults generally tend to promote themselves under the deceptive guise of evangelism. as they feel that anyone who is not a part of the cult is not fully enlightened. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. You don't know the Bible. You're dumb. You're stupid. God didn't tell you this. Why are you reading from the Bible? This is the type of comments I was receiving. See, you can't escape facts with your feelings and your emotions, because the truth is going to always be the truth, and facts going to always be facts. See, facts can be proven. And y'all actions by leaving them stupid ass comments under my video proves right here. Anyone who is not a part of the cult is not fully enlightened. Oh, you don't know the Bible. You don't even know what you're talking about. Says who? You? A cult member? Somebody who's asleep? A zombie? A sleepwalker? So I don't know what I'm talking about because you part of a cult. Right. I understand. Because you're a victim. And a lot of people don't know when they're being victimized. I understand. It's okay. This is why I just love the comment and keep it moving. Because if I didn't know what I was talking about, why did you take the time to respond? Did you ask yourself that? Oh, because I want to respond. I can say what I want. Right. Therefore, cults believe that people require the cult's specific indoctrinations or to be recruited into the group. Mm, mm. So, if you don't follow the bullshit that we believe and that our leader spews, then you can't be a part of this. That's what that means. Then, if I say everybody's a goddamn Mason, then they are. And if you don't believe that, you a joker. You see that type of idiotic mindset? That's the mindset of an idiot. That is the mindset of an egotistical bastard. It is what I say it is. Who you talking to? You think you talking to your children? Huh? This is the mindset of these fools. This is the mindset of these people. So if you don't believe they bullshit, you can't fuck with them. Or they have to recruit you, meaning they have to watch you and see if you're the type who can be indoctrinated. If you're going to drink that Kool-Aid, Jim Jones, you're going to drink that Kool-Aid. And like I said at the beginning of this stream, November 18th is when this article was put out. It was the 40th anniversary of the Jim Jones massacre. You can lead people to the water, but you can't make them drink. Yes, the hell you can when you exhibit these characteristics. Oh, yes, the hell you can. You can convince them to drink the Kool-Aid because Jim Jones did. Oh, he did. He did. He did it. And killed what? 900 people? Could be mistaken, but around there, kill hundreds of people. The cult leader therefore projects himself as the best among preachers, and he presents his doctrines as the best among other religious groups. So is that why people have so much negative shit to say about the Nation of Islam and Louis Farrakhan? Because you think your shit is the best, right? Because you think what you say is the truth, right? Is that why? Is that the real reason why? It is. I know it is. I know it is. The cult leader therefore projects himself as the best among preachers, and he presents his doctrines as the best among other religious groups. And anyone who is not a part of the cult is considered to be lost or unenlightened. Better pay attention. Any non-members who disagree with the cult leader's theology are seen as potential enemies. They hating on us. They're doing the devil's work. This is what's being said. Because what? Because what? We disagree with their ideology. Well, their theology. And we're seen as enemies. And likewise, cult members are not allowed, pay attention, and likewise, cult members are not allowed to associate with any outside religious groups or individuals who are likely to discover the cult's true deceptive nature. That's why Loso has been attacked, because he's not supposed to deal with Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Because Sheep Stay Sleep TV wakes the people up from people like them. The Underrated Darkness did a whole goddamn series about YouTube cults and its followers. My brother Gab Talk Media represents the Nation of Islam. So, Loso, you're not supposed to be over there. They're evil. They're devil worshippers. This is why you're being attacked, my brother, along with other people. Shout out to all the sisters who woke up and seen the truth and that's listening right now. Because y'all are being attacked too. Because of what? Outsiders are seen as enemies. Outsiders are seen as enemies. Because the outsiders bring a different perception. Because maybe they can see some shit you don't. And they don't want that. See, they don't want people to really wake up. Because then all the bullshit ends. Then he started losing members. And one lose members. Lose members, you lose power. Because that's who gives the cult leaders power, the members. The leader therefore isolates his group from ex-members or from families or from religious groups that are likely to discern and expose the true nature of the group. G2G is not a cult. We're not a cult. You're just lying. So the Zulu Nation is not a cult. So the Nubians is not a cult. So some of these Christian pastors don't run their churches and congregations like cults. That's what y'all telling me? Give me a break. Last one. They view people as assets and objects. Sociopaths do not really view people as friends. Good morning, good afternoon, my people. Not my friends, my people. So they're already putting themselves above you. But I thought God was above all. But they always prop themselves up above the group because you're his or her people. You belong to them. Sociopathic mindset. Instead, to a sociopath, people are assets. People are victims. People are accomplices. People are fools who can be conned for his or her own personal gain. Just like a sociopath, cult leaders are interested in only achieving the objective that meets their personal and selfish gain. Mm, 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 mm. As a result, a cult leader views his cult members as inferior to himself. Didn't I just say that? Didn't I just say that? He's above y'all. She's above y'all. Didn't I just say that? Shout out to everybody in the chat. I will be shouting out the chat in a minute. Shout out to all y'all that's tuned in. Very much appreciated. As a result, a cult leader views his members as inferior to himself and as people who he meant to control, manipulate, and dominate. And those are the 12 characteristics of a cult leader. We're going to go through them again. If you want to hear my breakdown or explanations, you might have to rewatch the stream. Number one, he or she is a spiritual abuser. Two, they twist the scriptures for personal gain. Three, have a narcissistic sense of self. Four, superficial charm and charisma. Five, they have the lack of guilt or remorse. Six, they are pathological liars. Seven, they have an authoritarian leadership style. They take sexual advantage of their members. They lack boundaries and exploit weaknesses. They use sycophants to ensure compliance from members. They view outsiders as enemies. They view people as assets and objects. Make sure y'all go check out the article that's down in the description about the anniversary, the 40th anniversary of the Jim Jones massacre, who's a cult leader. Y'all go check that out. Now let me shout out the chat. Shout out to my brother, the underrated darkness. Shout out to Afrocentric Anatomy TV. Shout out to my brother Loso. Shout out to Keppa Keppa. Shout out to New Era King. Shout out to Bella May Room. Shout out to Nikki. Shout out to Annette B. Shout out to Amanda Gathers. I appreciate all the new people that's here. I appreciate it. Conscious Community Comedy. Shout out to my brother Shug, as always. CDG, peace to you, brother. Shout out to Khalil Amani in the building. Shout out to you, brother. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to my little sis, Strange Magic. See who else up in here. Teddy and Luffy, welcome. Shout out to Soft Spoken. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. Shout out to Crew Reality. Shout out to Haven. Todd Brown, I appreciate you for tuning in. Shout out to you. Shout out to Pamela Harris. Indie Communists, welcome to SheepStaysLeepTV. I want to welcome all my new people. Shout out to my big brother Gad. Shout out to Storm Jones. I appreciate you, Storm Jones. Thanks for tuning in, Storm. Who else up in here I need to shout out? Shout out to Big Cass. Thanks for tuning in, Big Cass. Shout out to Low Cass. Thanks for tuning in, Low. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in. I appreciate all y'all for tuning in. If you haven't yet, like I said, check out the article that's down in the description box. Shout out to my family, Heels In. Thanks for tuning in. As always, much love. Like I said, check out the article that's down in the description box. Share this stream, get the word out, because we need to understand the characteristics of these people. We need to understand this. I appreciate everybody that's watching from the bushes. I appreciate everybody who hit the dislike button. Much love to all y'all. But if the truth is the light, we got to stand on the truth, whether you like it or not. So shout out to all y'all. Much love to all y'all. Thanks for tuning in to Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Much love, much support to everybody. And I will be back. I will be dropping some more car rants today. Look for the continuation of the car rant series. Y'all stay tuned for that. Y'all also, if y'all haven't yet, please hit that big red button and hit the bell for all the notifications. If you haven't yet, I appreciate all the love and support. This is DS1 Ross representing Sheep Stay Sleep TV, where we have to heal before we build. We have to heal before we build. So we have to be aware on how broken we are so we don't fall victims to cult leaders. We don't fall victim to this because people fall victim to cult leaders because they're broken. They fall victims to these sociopaths and joining these wicked organizations because they're in search for something that they think someone else could fill that void when they can't. You're the only one who could fill that void. So I appreciate all y'all love and support. Once again, y'all go check out the article. And I'll be back, family. Peace.